Come to the zoo, it's what we do. Always walk back. Come to the zoo, it's what we do. Always walk back. Always walk back. Come to the zoo, it's what we do. Always walk back. There's plenty to tell you with Jack's Animal Fun Facts. Jack's Animal Fun Facts. Jack's Animal Fun Facts. Hey, gang. Jack from Jack Animal Fun Facts here. It's just me. Yeah. And boy, am I sure glad to see you. It's the month of June here, and that means summer's approaching. But that means it's a good side to it, because I thought of something refreshing I'm going to start with. And today, we're going to talk about seals and sea lions. I'll be starting in just a few seconds. And voila. Seals and sea lions are in the same family and have similar habits and appearance. These creatures, some of them weigh as much as a rhino, and they like being on land and in the water. And it's maybe something what you didn't know is that seals are not really fish at all, nor sea lions. They're mammals. They're in a group called pinnipeds, which means fin-foot, because their flippers are like fins. They're the earless seals, such as harbor seal, ring seal, and harp, and the bearded seal, too. The others are fur seals, like these ones, the California Galapagos stellar northern fur seal, and the New England fur seal. And walrus? Yeah, they're the largest of the pinniped family. Is that so? It is. As you can see here, both are great swimmers and great for walking, but seals don't get around land gracefully as a sea lion could. Instead, seals and sea lions move like caterpillars. Sea lions use both hind and front flippers to walk, which explains how they're good on land. And seals and walruses use their front flippers to steer and hind flippers to help paddle through the water. That explains a lot. And fur seals and sea lions can reach speeds of 34 miles an hour, which makes them pretty fast. And how can they stay warm in some cold waters where most live? They have thick fur and blubber that helps keep the body heat in and the cold out. That's called insulation. Many seals use snow and cuff themselves in while they sleep on ice. And did you know that seals and sea lions molt, which means they shed their skin and fur so they have a new layer? It's the same deal when I need new clothes that fit me better, or new socks that got worn out. Pardon me about that hooded seal. He always does that to show off when he acts tough. But even though seals and sea lions are very special, they can see underwater just fine. However, they have tear glands that protect their eyes. And it protects them from saltwater or blowing snow. On land, and they have to stay alert to watch out for predators. In the Arctic, these ring seals are to watch out for polar bears, so finding places to hide underwater or in an icy cave is a great place to hide. Although they will find different foods in the sea here, the leopard seal is a predator, a very serious one. It's known to take on penguins, fish, and even other seals. Yikes. Walruses here use their whiskers to feel around on the bottom of the ocean to find clams to eat. They can eat 5,000 clams in at one sitting. When they find one, while drying their tusk on the bottom, and then when they find one, they use their lips to slurp the clam open. However, they don't stay underwater for long. And how many there are? There are many different kinds here. They're found in all over the world. Most prefer cold places and saltwater, but the Bakai seal is known to live in Lake Bakai in Russia. Can you help find him? Yes, that's the one. Yes, that's him. Good looking. Did you know that harbor seals sometimes come here to brackish and freshwater regions? There are few other kinds of seals that live in freshwater. Yeah. Now, as I was telling, there are many different kinds of seals, and while I did mention, here's some others, like the South African. Stellar sea lions are the largest. They can weigh as much as 2,500 pounds from the North Pacific Rim and 11 feet long. Here's the South American sea lion, one of the fur seals, and the Antarctic fur seal. It's amazing. And here's the real Bakai seal I'm talking about. It does look that way, doesn't it? Now, sea lions and fur seals live in groups called colonies or rookeries. The ones without ears, the earless seals, live alone or in small groups. Walruses live in huge colonies. Their babies are called pups. And while they're called pups, the mother goes to a place where she can give birth. For example, harp seals must find a place on land or not is to give birth in peace. And did you know that baby seals don't go looking for food? The mother or stay there and give them milk. But they do not let their pups out of their sight until they are weaned in just about 8 weeks. That means stick to typical males. Mother seals and sea lions recognize their calls by sounds and smell. It's how they recognize who's who. See the New Zealand sea lion? There's the guy in charge. The bull's here. 600 pounds of blubbery fury, which explains they're very protective of their breeding grounds and do not like strangers, which explains why, like the stellar sea lion and other ones, we should not get too close. Even the ones in La Jolla Cove here, we are warned, so we don't disturb them. The males is here to lead the families from one place to another and protect the family. Even though they're such a sight to learn about, here's a very strange guy, the elephant seal. A very large seal with a very large nose, like an elephant. And they can go for a long time without food for 100 days in the breeding season. If you look in an x-ray, the seal's front flipper is, the front flipper of the seal is like a hand, which is quite a sight. Amazing. Yeah. It's a very stated fact here about them. Harbor seals are even known to live with California sea lions. In fact, they're known to cohabitate. Even though they like to hang out in kelp forests, it's a great place to avoid sharks and orcas, another one of their predators. But as you plainly see here, I know all about sea lions. Do you? Yes. Here, I'll show you. Here's a California sea lion. California sea lions are intelligent, good memories. In fact, sea lions are so smart, California sea lions are known to demonstrate that and perform tricks at zoos and aquariums. Even in the Navy, they can even be helpful by finding underwater objects. Yeah. The United States use them in nations.
perform tasks like picking up underwater objects.
But even though they're quite as smart, but even though sea lions like fish and squid here, and while these are amazing facts here, California sea lions belong these parts North America, and they're wild animals. And here's a fact about the ways the pups and their mother. Ranger Rocky said, and the mothers protect their pups and look for food for that. And sea lion pups learn the ways of the sea lion for about a year and even longer, but stay with their families for life. Will it recognize its mother's call?
Absolutely. Sea lions use many sounds, like barks and growls, to communicate with one another. One of those sounds is the mother-pup call. Sea lion mothers and their pups are able to recognize each other's calls.
Thanks for the tip, Ranger Rocky. Now I understand that. Allow me to compliment, that's a good reason. But when you're learning about a sea lion, look in the book. See this? In Stanley's Great Book of Everything, there are two different types. One is sea lion.
The other is a seal.
A seal.
That's a tough one. Even though they look similar, they're related, but both have flippers and make excellent swimmers.
So how can you tell them apart?
Good question, Stanley.
Can you help tell them apart?
Hey, this one has floppy ears and long flippers with no hair. And that one has short flippers with lots of hair and no flippers.
Right, Stanley. Sea lions have longer front flippers and are much pointed. Seals don't have any ears sticking out like we do, but they have short front flippers. Sea lions have longer front flippers and tiny, floppy, pointy ears. This is a California sea lion. In fact, they were named after California made such a great comeback thanks to conservation. Look like such as the water to come on land. And see how they walk? They use their hind flippers and front to get around on land. It makes them good waddlers. It helps them get around from land. And they live together in big groups. Yeah, they live together in rookeries or colonies, and they love to play. They're very playful, aren't they? And you sure are quite a sight. Kind of remind me of someone I know. Wow! My thoughts exactly.
He's long.
A California sea lion can be 7 feet long and weighs 600 pounds. That's longer than my bed. And 600 pounds? That's as much as a motorcycle. Now that's really big. I don't mind saying it, but quite a sight to notice. I'm going to tell you the story about an Australian sea lion. And now, yeah, that for you. Ooh, sea lion stuff. They can balance a fish on their nose. They can bark if you ask. They love to sun on the rocks. They got flippers and swim real fast. They're the sea lions. Sea lions. They're the sea lions. And they come from California by the sea. They can throw a fish back and forth, leap right out of the water, but they love to play on the rocks. But they spend most of the time in the water too. They're the sea lions, sea lions, they're the sea lions, and they come from California by the sea. They're the sea
Sea lions, they're the sea lions, and they come from California. Come from California. Oh, they come from California
By the sea. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This reminds me of the time I saw a California sea lion in Coronado Bay and the harbor. They sure surprised me, but it made me so happy to see them in person. My sister Carly had a great time touring with them once in the San Diego Zoo. Well, they sure bring goodwill to me. But you know what else? I think I have a story that might help you understand. Today, I'll help you learn this here. Remember the mention of the Australian sea lion I told you about? Well, here's the story about her. Her name is Lucille, and she discovered something very important more than us. And now I'll tell you all about it once you get a glimpse. And off we go. Dive, Ollie, dive. Lucille loops the loop. Let's put on your scuba gear and let's go. Let's see. If I look carefully, there you are. He was a Lucille, the Australian sea lion, is very friendly and playful. She sometimes can be pretty competitive and be a little spoiled sometimes, but not always. She's just a little sassy pants. But I'll help you understand how she learned her lesson. The old saying says, nobody's perfect. One day, Shankly the Crane, Beth, and Ollie the Subs were watching her doing tricks. She was on her way to see them. G'day, Lucille.
Hello, Lucille. Hello, yourself, Shankly. That was an awesome trick, Lucille. That's her. Awesome, Lucille. You haven't seen anything yet. Watch me jump that tall boy.
Huh.
Think you can make it? Lucille always makes it. She's perfect.
Well, now, nobody's perfect, Ollie.
Nobody but awesome Lucille. Thanks, Ollie.
And so Lucille dove in, soaked to the bone, and swam toward the boat, and did a great backflip.
Hey, can you show me how to do one of those somersault jump things? Sure. Let's go practice at Rocky Point. There's no one there, and you don't want anyone to see you until you can do it perfectly.
Right, private, hush, hush. And so they did.
Dive, Ollie, dive!
And off they started.
Okay, I know you do somersaults in the water all the time, Ollie, but it's a lot harder to do them out of the water. You have to have speed and power.
Yeah, hate to admit, but Mother Sea Lions had to teach them swimming lessons.
Both. Okay then, follow me.
Ollie followed Lucille, and then, for the first time, he tried for the first, the way Lucille did, but landed flat on his back. Ooh,
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
that's okay. I've done that before. But it didn't hurt. It made me feel foolish.
Are you okay, Ollie? I'm okay.
Nice try. Don't be disappointed, Ollie. Let's try our luck a little further.
I think no one else was around to see. Lucille. You'll get it.
Just then, Diver Doug called.
Hello, Substance. I've got a job for you. Come on into base, please.
We're on our way, Diver Dog. Over and out. Right yet. Sorry, Lucille. Duty calls.
Oh, well,
Meet me back here later today and we'll practice till you do it perfectly. Okay? Okay.
suit yourself.
See you later, Lucille.
After they went off, they were just on the way when their session was over. Or when duty calls, they saw something that caught their eye, and it made Lucille a little jealous, a little impatient, and felt ignored for a moment. And why? There's your answer. They were watching a sailfish.
Never seen anything so cool.
Just then Lucille arrived.
You were supposed to come back to Rocky Point to practice, remember? Well, we're sorry. We finished our assignment for Diver Doug. We were on our way back. But then we saw this guy. Isn't he amazing? He's just doing figure eights.
I'm good at that. She said, I'm good at that too, but not in the water as good as she is. Not bad. Nice one, Lucille. I like the way you do it.
Sorry, Lucille. We were watching the sailfish. Do it again. Never mind. Go ahead and watch a dumb old fish. I'm leaving.
Now, Lucille,
Lucille? Gosh, I wonder what's wrong with her.
I think she's feeling rather ignored about this here, or just discouraged here. She's really proud of her and talents. And Lucy will go too far and she'll learn her lesson. You'll see.
That fish wasn't so great. Just because he has a big fin, big deal. I can do better tricks than he was doing. What's that?
Lucille was just on the buoy, just still thinking about that sailfish. Poor guy. It's probably all my fault. I should have talked with her more. I would give her a little encouragement. I'm sure I can find a way. Just then, Lucille heard a funny noise. She swam over to find out, and then there he was. It was Shankly working on a new machinery plant.
Hi, Shankly.
Well, hello again, wee lass.
What's making all that bubbly noise?
Well, no, that would be my new jet booster pack. It will help divers get around under the ocean much faster.
What? That little thing.
It may be little, but it packs quite a punch. Like you.
Lucy watched. Oh dear.
I lost my friend.
Oh dear. Lucille dived in to catch it. And just in time,
Thank you, lassie. You're a real star.
she got it. Phew.
You're welcome.
This pack is ready to be field tested.
But divers and Doug's in a little busy here. This gave Lucy an idea.
You need someone to try it out in the water.
Aye.
Well then, I'm your girl.
This gave Lucille an idea.
Well, what?
Your girl. Your Lassie. The one who's going to field test the new device for you.
You?
Yes, me. I can do it.
Shankly was surprised but agreed.
I'm sure you can. And you certainly know your way around the sea.
Yep, I do.
No,
She and the others know the ocean better than us themselves. But she's not easy to convince.
booster can be a wee bit tricky to control, so remember not to turn the power up too high until you're sure you're ready.
Don't turn too high. Got it.
Don't worry, Shankly. I can handle it.
You're a confident lass, aren't you?
Of course.
And that's what she did. She was enjoying the feeling of speed. It was a thrilling ride.
Now we'll see who their subs think is better. A silly sailfish or awesomely sealed. Ollie, Ben. Hey, Lucille. Hi. What's that on your back? Just a little jetpack to make awesomely seal even more awesome.
The first round, first over this rock spire, then through this arch, and big ski jump. Whoa. Half pipe.
That's so cool.
Way to go, dude.
Thank you. Now watch me step it up a notch.
I am ready. And the next one, the loop, and maneuvers. Whoa! Lucille did the second round, and that's when, doing backflip. Oh, oh, big grinding.
All right, Lucille.
Oh,
Phew. You almost lost it that time, Lucille. I did not. That was part of the show. And now for the most amazing trick of all.
and that's when Lucille did something she shouldn't have. And this is the embarrassing part. She turned up to orange, and then when turned up a little too high up to the red,
Here goes nothing.
she looped the loop. And so much did it spiral and then lost control so badly.
Lucille, are you okay?
Oh dear. Ooh. She crash landed in here. Lucille! Oh,
Are you okay?
Ollie and Beth rushed over to see if she's all right. Luckily, she wasn't hurt.
No, I'm fine.
The twins looked at her. Then they laughed.
About it. That's not why we're laughing. We're laughing because there's a sea anemone on your head.
And you're covered in weeds.
It's not funny. I totally messed up the chick in front of you. Lucille,
Lucille was very upset and swam away.
don't go.
She went behind a motorboat to hide. Beth and Ollie went to tell Shankly the crane here in the harbor. Poor guy. I do not tolerate laughing at someone who did embarrassing things here. But remember, a banana without its peel is still a banana. What does that mean? It means people get embarrassed. Everyone gets embarrassed all the time. Even me and their parents. But she's still Lucille. A skillful, athletic, kind, and young sea lion. Perfect or not.
Should have seen her, Shankly.
They were talking to her all about Lucille.
She was doing loop-de-loops and corkscrews and figure eights. And the jetpack made her even faster than she usually is.
She's an amazing lass, all right.
Thank you, Shankly. But then, she kind of lost control. What? Don't tell him. Yeah, and she ended up with a sea anemone on her head and seaweed everywhere.
Must have been quite a sight.
I remember got in a weedy mess like that when he tumbled in the waves. Lucille was a little or worried.
Hey, what's so funny?
And the laughing,
Lucille,
the three of them just laughed so much she had to be honest.
You were just telling me how you lost a wee bit of control of the jetpack while you were field testing.
why did you tell me that? I'm sorry, Shankly. I totally messed up. I really wanted to do a perfect job for you.
Shankly thought for a minute, then he smiled, said,
You did do a perfect job for me.
But I messed up.
Oh, messing up's part of the job. That's the way we learn things. Nobody's perfect, you know.
Nope. Not even Magnificent Beth. Or Amazing Ollie.
Lucille smiled, and she knew that Shankly was right. Then she began to laugh too.
Not even awesome, Lucille.
Not even awesome Lucille. Everyone laughed in English.
Lucille, it's good to see you can laugh at yourself after all.
Yeah, it feels kind of good. Of course, I don't get a chance to do it very often, since I'm usually so perfect.
And you're perfect just the way you are. And that is how Lucille loops the loop. She may be competitive sometimes, but she always learns lessons, because this is what we learned from Lucille's story. It's always important to be a good sport. Sometimes caring too much about you being perfect can get you into big trouble. It's only thinking of yourself that gets into messes, but thinking of others, now that is what matters. And the reason why people say nobody's perfect, we all get mistakes sometimes, but that's one of the ways we learn. Learn to be better. It's even part of a job. And that's what we've learned here. Now that is a seal appeal, and this Jack Medved saying, I shall be sealing up now, but I'll see you next time on Jack's Animal Fun Facts. See you next time. Hey everybody, glad to see you again here. It's time for a review and a quiz. Are you ready? Here we go. We found out a lot about seals today, and believe you me, and seals and sea lions are quite a sight. Do you remember the differences? Is it by flippers and ears, or noses and tails? Right, the flippers. Sea lions have longer front flippers and small pointy ears. But both of them have whiskers to feel around super deep. Here's another one. Is Lucille a seal or a sea lion? Right, she's a sea lion. An Australian sea lion to be exact. I can tell by the color that's a little palish gray here. I've looked up those here. And now for your final question. What sound does a sea lion make? Right. They They bark and squeal and growl to communicate with each other. Correct. Got them all right. I must say, quite a start. allow me to compliment, that's quite a big start right here. We've learned a lot about the story of Lucille and some others. And when it comes to California sea lions, it's amazing how made a comeback. And so do other seals, even though they're still in danger. And why? Some criminals, including poachers, try to come after them, especially for their fur. And pollution is another threat. Now, these threats are against law, but it's our job to protect them and their habitats. In fact, SeaWorld San Diego, it's not really like a theme or amusement park. It's also a place for conservation such as rehabilitation. That's why it's our job to learn about them and keep them safe. They deserve to live in harmony, and that's a seal of approval. And while it may be so here, seals and sea lions are very, very special creatures because living together in harmony is the circle of life. And while the California sea lion is a classic creature in captivity, there was a very unexpected notice. And I do mean very unexpected. What do you mean? You're not going to believe your eyes. And here it is. Here it is, the first seal. You see, a long time ago, there was a Guadalupe fur seal that was found lost and alone, then brought to the Wildlife Center in Laguna, which is way up north in California, then brought to SeaWorld to help rehabilitate and then take it back to its natural habitat. They really need protection to survive because they deserve traveling long journeys by currents from feeding grounds to breeding grounds. Seals and sea lions have strong family bonds, and even though they're so smart and so talented, everybody's got talents, and you don't have to show off to be rude or think you know better. It's all about demonstration, or just make others happy. It's the way it feels special, and everyone is special in its own way, just like you and me. You can find out more about sea lions and seals and walruses from books at your local library. Or you can look online here to find out. You could find out all about them. Speaking of which, I think my grandma Gigi needs to see me here. She's over there. See, better get going. See you soon. Ta-ta.